Imagine yourself in the shoes of a Spanish explorer in the 15th century, embarking on a daring voyage into the unknown. Welcome to the Age of Exploration, a unique era marked by curiosity, courage, and the quest for the new. It was an age when intrepid souls from Spain dared to challenge the boundaries of their known world. Spain, a country brimming with ambition, was a key player in this global game of discovery. Driven by the desire to expand its influence, secure lucrative trade routes, and spread Christianity, Spain poured resources into maritime exploration. The Mediterranean, once the center of their world, was now just a starting point. The explorers, known as conquistadors, were not just ordinary men. They were adventurers and warriors, their spirits ignited by the allure of the uncharted. For them, the promise of wealth and glory was worth the risk of the perilous journey. They were men who dared to dream, armed with the courage to turn their dreams into reality. These voyages were not for the faint-hearted. The harsh conditions at sea, the fear of the unknown, and the constant threat of danger were part of the package. Yet, the potential rewards, the chance to claim new lands, the lure of untold riches, and the glory of making history were too enticing to resist. The Spanish monarchs, too, were eager to establish their dominance on the global stage. They saw in these explorers the opportunity to extend their reign beyond their borders. So they sponsored these daring voyages, fueling the ambitions of the conquistadors and paving the way for their adventures. The Age of Exploration was indeed an era of bold aspirations. It was a time when the world as known to Europeans was about to get a whole lot bigger. With their ships ready and their hearts filled with ambition, the Spanish explorers set sail towards the unknown, marking the beginning of the dramatic story of Spanish conquistadors. As the Spanish explorers reached the shores of the Americas, their journey took a turn towards conquest and conflict. This was not an era for the faint-hearted. The Spanish conquistadors, hardened by their perilous voyages across the Atlantic, were ready to stake their claim on this new world. At the heart of their mission was an insatiable hunger for territory and riches. The conquistadors were military adventurers, equipped with superior weaponry and a ruthless strategic mind. They brought with them cannons, crossbows, and the arquebus, a type of early firearm. Their steel swords and horses were unknown to the indigenous people, giving the Spanish a formidable advantage. But it wasn't just their military prowess that set the stage for conflict. The conquistadors were driven by a relentless ambition and a fierce belief in their divine right to conquer. They saw themselves as crusaders, spreading Christianity to the New World. This cultural clash, coupled with their quest for gold, led to inevitable conflicts. Among the indigenous people, the conquistadors encountered complex and sophisticated civilizations. The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, each with their own unique cultures, traditions, and structures of power. Yet, these civilizations were not prepared for the sheer force and strategic cunning of the Spanish invaders. The conquistadors implemented a strategy known as the requerimiento, a declaration read to the indigenous people, demanding their submission to the Spanish crown and Christianity. Unsurprisingly, this was often met with resistance, leading to bloody conflicts and the eventual downfall of these ancient civilizations. As the conquistadors advanced, they left a trail of destruction in their wake. Cities were plundered, cultures were decimated, and countless lives were lost. Yet, in their eyes, they were victorious. They had claimed vast territories for Spain, paving the way for further exploration and colonization. The Spanish conquistadors, armed with their weapons and determination, left an indelible mark on the history of the Americas. Their conquests forever altered the course of history, setting in motion a chain of events that still resonate to this day. From this era of conflict and conquest, a new world emerged, a world that bore the indelible imprint of the Spanish conquistadors. The Spanish conquistadors did not find an empty land, but vibrant civilizations with their own cultures and traditions. As they ventured further into the heart of the Americas, these explorers came face to face with the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas. These were societies that had thrived for centuries, developing intricate social structures, sophisticated agricultural techniques, and awe-inspiring architectural wonders. From the towering pyramids of the Aztecs to the sprawling city of the Incas, Machu Picchu, the Spanish were faced with cultures that were as complex and advanced as their own. But it was not just the physical structures that intrigued the conquistadors. The indigenous people's way of life, their rituals, and their belief systems were vastly different from anything the Spanish had ever encountered. The meeting of these two worlds was, in essence, a clash of cultures. The Spanish, driven by their mission to spread Christianity, viewed the indigenous people's spiritual practices as heathen and sought to convert them. This religious conversion often came with force, leading to conflicts and bloodshed. However, it wasn't just a one-way influence. While the Spanish left their mark on the indigenous people, they too were influenced by the cultures they encountered. They adopted indigenous foods like potatoes and corn into their diets, learned local languages, and even intermarried with the indigenous people. But the encounters were not without their dark side. The Spanish brought with them diseases to which the indigenous people had no immunity, resulting in devastating epidemics. Their relentless pursuit of gold and other precious resources led to the exploitation and enslavement of the indigenous population. Yet, in spite of the hardships they faced, the indigenous people proved resilient. They adapted, resisted, and survived, their cultures enduring the test of time. Today, their descendants continue to uphold their traditions, carrying the legacy of their ancestors into the future. The encounters between the Spanish and the indigenous people marked a significant turning point in the history of the Americas. The impacts of these encounters, both positive and negative, continue to resonate today, shaping the diverse cultural landscape of the Americas. And so, the story of the Spanish conquistadors and the indigenous people remains a vital part of our shared global history. The promise of unimaginable riches lured the Spanish conquistadors deeper into the heart of the Americas. Infected with gold fever and driven by a relentless desire for wealth, they embarked on audacious treasure-hunting expeditions that would forever change the course of history. Their pursuit of gold and other precious metals was more than just a quest for riches. It was a symbol of power, a testament to their courage, and a validation of their daring exploits. Legends of vast treasures hidden in the uncharted territories of the Americas fueled their expeditions, igniting their imaginations and stoking their ambitions. Tales of the lost city of gold, El Dorado, tantalized them, whispering promises of unimaginable wealth and glory. The myth of this city, where gold was said to be so abundant that it was used to decorate houses and streets, was a beacon that guided the conquistadors deeper into the heart of the New World. But the quest for treasure was not without its perils. The relentless pursuit of gold led to the exploitation and decimation of indigenous populations. The conquistadors' insatiable greed and their disregard for the lives and cultures of the native people resulted in untold suffering and loss. Yet, in their pursuit of wealth, the conquistadors also uncovered a wealth of knowledge about the Americas and its indigenous civilizations. Their expeditions led to the discovery of previously unknown cultures, languages, and technologies, shedding light on a world that had remained hidden from European eyes for centuries. The quest for treasure drove the Spanish conquistadors to push their limits, often with devastating consequences for the indigenous people. Their exploits, fueled by a relentless thirst for gold, shaped the course of history, leaving behind a legacy of exploration and conquest that continues to resonate in the annals of history. The actions of the Spanish conquistadors left a lasting legacy that continues to shape the Americas today. As we delve into the aftermath of their conquests, we uncover a world forever changed. The Spanish conquistadors were more than just warriors. They were pioneers, bringing with them the culture, language, and architecture of a distant land. Their influence seeped into every corner of the Americas, from the bustling cities to the most remote villages. Today, the Spanish language is spoken by millions across the continent, a testament to this enduring legacy. Yet, this cultural exchange was not without its dark side. The conquests were marked by violence and devastation, resulting in the suffering and displacement of indigenous people. The once thriving civilizations of the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas were decimated, their cultures and traditions forever altered. The impact of these actions still reverberates today, a haunting reminder of a turbulent past. Despite the controversy surrounding their actions, the architectural legacy of the Spanish conquistadors is undeniable. From the grand cathedrals that grace city skylines to the rustic haciendas that dot the countryside, these structures bear witness to a time when Spanish influence was at its peak. This blend of old and new, of Spanish and indigenous styles, has given birth to a unique architectural landscape, a living testament to the region's complex history. The legacy of the Spanish conquistadors is a tale of two worlds colliding. It's a story of exploration and conquest, of cultural exchange and conflict. It's a narrative that continues to unfold, shaping the Americas in ways that are both visible and invisible. As we reflect on this legacy, we're reminded that history is not just about the past. It's about understanding how the actions of those who came before us continue to shape our world today. The Spanish conquistadors, for better or worse, have left their mark on the Americas, a testament to a time of exploration, conquest, and conflict.